with us, we have our own Ben Akiva, one of our first two employees that we hired, Suraj. Welcome to Happy Friday. Do you want to do a quick introduction?
Sure. Hey guys, this is Suraj Maharzan. I'm a senior business analyst and a QA manager for Benikiva.
And then Nick and Brent, do you guys want to do quick introductions?
Sure, Brent.
Hey everyone, Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benekiva.
And I'm Nick Lamparelli, Chief Underwriting Officer for Rethought Insurance and podcaster at the Yellow Book Road.
The first episode came out, right?
It did last weekend. So I've been sharing clips of it going forward. So, and I got more coming up my sleeve, some interesting stuff coming up.
Awesome. So to start our Happy Fridays, we share one, maybe two happy stories, whether that's professional or something related to a personal or work related. It could be a gratitude story. So to start off with, Nick, do you want to go first?
Sure. I have two little tidbits. One is my daughter's coming down visiting Florida this coming weekend, and I was telling my wife yesterday, it's like feels like a stranger is coming because I haven't seen her in like 14 months because of COVID. She's a student out in California, and so we FaceTime all the time, but it's still like, who is this person that's coming to visit me? Like, what sort of habits am I going to have to hide, when she gets down here? But we're like ecstatic to have her come down here and share some family time with us. So that's cool. And I'm also thankful for this week. It's so good to have peers that are doing sort of the same thing that you're doing. And this week, Bobbie and I kind of forced the issue and said, let's, we've been so swamped with what we're doing. Let's push ourselves away from our desks and let's just have a phone call outside while we walk, get a little exercise in while we can just kind of catch up on stuff. And it felt really good to just get outside, have that conversation and be able to have, I'll call it adult conversation, but just just normal, the conversation we should be having in Des Moines or in Vegas. It's cool to catch up, hear all of the wonderful things that are happening over at Benekiva and be able to talk to someone that's going through exactly the same thing you're going through when it comes to, startup life, family life, workout life, all of that stuff. It's we have quite a tight-knit community that we've developed, and so it was awesome catching up. I love that.
Same here, Nick. I think one of the things we need to remember, this is I'm very guilty of that. I can get swamped into work, and then I forget about my friends or connections. And then I'm pinging them, and you guys probably have received a ping saying, I miss you, let's catch up. Yeah. And I think it's good to just take time on a weekly basis just to connect with people because you don't want to lose these relationships or connections.
Yeah. And it was killing two birds with one stone. It was that and, getting our heart rate up, just a little bit of exercise, getting outside and smelling some fresh air. Both of those, I felt so much better when I got back and I sat down. It was like, whew, that felt good,
And you did a 45-pound ruckus. It did not, guys. Oh my God. I now want to try something like that. Maybe not a ruckus. I want to get one of those weighted things.
Backpacks. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I wasn't even out of breath. So I can tell I'm making progress.
So, Brent, do you want to go next?
Yeah, so my Happy Friday story this week. Our week started off really well. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Unexpectedly, we'd been talking to a carrier back and forth, and And unexpectedly, I received signed contracts that we landed another client, and I officially have the contract here that I need to sign and get back over to them. So that made me pretty happy, because we kind of had an idea that it was coming, but you know, last I knew, we had sent our revisions of the contract back over, and you know, we just assumed that, you know, it would take them a couple weeks to go through that, and all of a sudden I see signed contracts in my inbox.
Wow. That's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like finding money in your jacket or pocket. Like, oh boy, I'm richer.
That took us off by surprise when we got the message. That you took a little bit of my happy story. I was like, that it just was so cool. Like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. So
Congratulations.
thank you. Yeah, that made me happy this week. It's always good to land more clients, but when they're unexpected, that makes it even better.
So thanks, Brent. Suraj, since you're our guest of honor, we would love to hear from you.
Yeah, I would like to share two things for this team. One is, you know, I'm moving to a new house, and I'm in this process to getting a fence. And finally, I got approval from HOA to do that. And it's not a fun process. You know, this is the first time I get to know that. I had, you know, they reject me a couple of times. And also one of my neighbor home is owned by a property management company. And to get their approval, it took a while, you know, to chase them and go through their legal department, connecting all the time, you know. Finally, it's done. So I'm having fence this weekend. So this weekend will be guys coming in to put some fence in my backyard. The second thing was is yesterday, one of our previous Benekiva employee called me, and she asked me if we have any opening, and she wants to join our team again. And I think Bobbie and Brent, this shows that I think we set up our team culture, or you know, the way we treat our team, we did in the right way. This is what I believe improves us, that someone is calling us, asking, you know, if we have any opening, and let them know if they can join. So
Nice.
that's a second thing for this week.
That's cool.
I hope you guys are going to make this person sweat it out a little bit. But there's no better feeling, right? Like, you know, you've done something right when they leave, and they're just like, the grass was not greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think for some of our staff, they've left also for like family or personal reasons. So they, you know, now they get to venture out, right? So, you know, from an employee perspective, joining a startup is risky, right? when we, I always say we stole Suraj, like he left like a nice corporate position to come join, but it takes you know, it takes that type of skill set, that risk-taking skill set, but coupled with kind of some of the programs that I know Suraj has helped put in place with Benekiva, like our monthly team meetings, where people are like, we don't want to meet just monthly. We want to meet like, let's meet every 2 weeks. And we've extended it from 1 hour to an hour and a half. It just shows that we're, you know, we're the pieces that we're doing is working, not at our company level, but also like at our culture level too.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, what's really cool about our monthly meetings, and Suraj was the one, we got to give him kudos. He's the one who actually got it all set up and got it going. But what's really cool about our monthly meetings is it's the entire team. So all the different offices across the world get on there, and it's just
That's not easy to do, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But what's really interesting is we talk very little about Benekiva. It's usually about that, you know, Surge that picks people to present, you know, something of their choice, and it doesn't have to be anything to do with work. It can be just a book you're reading, or just something about you, and something that really makes you happy. And a lot of the presentations that we've got have been really good. You know, it's amazing some of the things that our employees are into outside of, you know, Benekiva. So That's really cool, I think, because there again, that goes to the culture. It's not all about Ben Akiva, and it's not all about just work. It's more about, you know, the people. And we've said that, the founding team has said this since day one. You hire good people, and you will have a successful company. And you know, so that I think that's really cool about our meetings.
It's very cool. And Suraj, I have never lived in an HOA until I moved here in Florida, so I would hear horror stories about HOAs, and it just never resonated with me until you live in one, and then you realize like you can't do anything. Christmas lights, like cars parked in front, you know, visitors coming, like every detail. Oh my God, they're on top of you. So I feel your pain when it comes to the fence, like just
Yep.
the nitpicking on like children's toys and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel it.
Yep. It's kind of with at the beginning I was really frustrated because I personally feel like it's my property, you know, let me
Yeah.
do, you know. But there was a little one of the area there was a little bit of land encroachment from my neighbor, and my thought process was it's already my land. Why can't I just put a fence on it? They were just like, no. We need a written statement from them, even though the fence is in your property. We still need a written statement. That was just very frustrating.
You'll have to share a picture of it when it's done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep, definitely.
Hey team, I'll wrap up. Happy Friday. So I have a couple, and I think the two of you guys, I had to come up with a couple new ones because you guys shared a couple of mine. But the first one I wanted to
Planned
share
that,
was
okay.
duet
We planned that, by the way. Serge and I said, let's take photos.
romance. But the first one I want to share is that we as a company made a commitment and we are going to ITC. So that is locked, almost locked. Now it's about contracting. So folks, we'll see you guys in Vegas, and Ben Akiva Strong. We're gonna have, I think we've graduated a bit. So
Yeah.
when you come to ITC, it will be nice. And
Are you guys gonna do like are you gonna go like do a booth?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And a nice size booth.
Yeah.
So we
Wow.
graduated. That's what I love it.
Can you get Billy Idol to show up?
I'm not I missed most of his concert. I only know one of his songs. It was sad.
Well, if we're lucky enough, maybe there'll be like a Def Leppard or something like that, and we're gonna have to go crazy.
Yeah.
So for the ITC, I think between us, we have some good band recommendations, like 90s rock.
Definitely.
To jam with
Oh
that.
yes. Yeah, they like all tour together. We could get like Foreigner, Def Leppard. We might, you know, imagine if we could get like Guns N' Roses. Oh.
I've been to their concert. It is amazing. Oh, they put on a good show. And they're so cute because they're a little bit older and they like run around.
Chubby Axl Rose.
Cute. I love, yeah.
Chubby Axl Rose, balding Axl Rose. Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
I'm just glad they're together again, you know.
Yeah.
And then the second Happy Friday is that I think I posted this on LinkedIn. InsurTech Connect, not InsurTech Connect, InsurTech Spring Conference that's hosted by InsurTech Hartford and InsurTech New York. That's happening next week. Some of us are participating, and it's so cool that I'm on a game show, and my partner is Frank Setner. And you guys know how much I love Frank, because Brent is the one that introduced Frank to I, and he's like my mentor. I really have mad respects for him. And it's always cool to share that, right? When we're doing something together, it's kind of cool. Like, he's my mentor, but we're doing something together as peers. So it was cool. And I hope folks can attend that. That's going to be such a creative conference as well.
Was that taped?
Mm-hmm. We can't tell you the results.
Oh, come on.
No.
No one's watching, Bobbie. Just
No,
between
you have
us.
to watch. It's funny. It was so fun. And I told Stacy and the team, continue this creativity, like conferences with sessions after sessions, panels after panels, kind of gets old. They're spicing
Yeah,
it up.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. I mean, you might as well make it entertaining. It's insurance is boring enough as it is. There should be an element of what we do where you can make it entertaining. So, game shows, gamify it, like have something where, it's not just insurance topics, but you can still learn something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, this wraps up our Happy Friday. Suraj, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.